please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, the Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Lockdown and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so it's time for another lineup projection video here, and today we have moved on from the play-in round teams to the round robin teams. So we're going to be looking at the top teams in each conference, starting today with the projected number 4 seed. Obviously in the round robin that can change, but the projected number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia Flyers. So just like I did for all the play-in round teams, I'm basically just going to try to piece together a lineup for the Flyers as they head into what's hopefully the return of hockey and their round-robin games against the other top teams in the East, and just try to piece together what their lineup could look like and who you know is going to be part of the roster, who isn't, and things like that. Before we begin, I just ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, as those really help the channel a lot and are very much appreciated. But let's get into it here, switch over to the cap-friendly screen, and take a look at the Philadelphia Flyers lineup. Obviously, a great season this year for the Flyers, significantly better than what they did last season, or in 2018-2019. Very talented forward group here. I think your top line is pretty well set with Claude Giroux on the left side, Sean Couturier in the middle, and Jake Voracek on the right side. Now, if you do need to switch things up, I will say they could very easily just do that and flip-flop Konechny and Voracek. Something they've certainly done in the past, and not difficult to do. But I think Voracek will start on the top line with Couturier and Giroux. Second line, Kevin Hayes obviously is your second line center. Actually, down the middle, it's pretty much set. Couturier, Hayes, Lawton, Thompson. Those are your centers for the most part. If Konechny's not on the top line, he's certainly on the second line. He'll play on the right side of Kevin Hayes there. And on the left side, I think you'll see James Van Riemsdyk. They do have the option of putting Joel Farabee there. We have seen that as well this season. But we're not even sure if Farabee's going to be in the lineup or not. He was kind of, he's still really young, and he was kind of in and out of the lineup at points this season. I think JVR is your best bet as a, top goal-scoring second-line winger. I think you'll see Van Riemsdyk there, and that will be your top 6. Third line then, Scott Lawton down the middle, obviously. I have Tyler Pitlick on the right side, and Joel Farabee on the left side for now. Again, they have options there. There are other guys that they could put in. You could put, a lot of these depth guys are very, just kind of interchangeable in who you could put in and put out. But I think Farabee, given the fact that he did play a good number of NHL games this year, will probably get the first look, at least in training camp, and will have a chance to play there. Fourth line, Nate Thompson, brought over at the trade deadline. Great fourth line player. He'll play in the middle. Derek Grant, also brought over at the trade deadline. This team added depth at the trade deadline, and it's honestly looks very good in this lineup. Derek Grant on the right side, and Michael Raffl on the left side, who has certainly been an important player for the Flyers for a number of years now. It seems like he's been on this team forever. Raffl's a guy also that you could move around. Raffl's a guy that could play third line. He could play second line. He's very much a guy that you could move around if need be. He could play anywhere from second to fourth line left wing. So very versatile player there. And then as far as extra players go, I mean, Abe-Kubel has been up with the big club pretty much all season. Morgan Frost, highly touted rookie. He'll definitely get a look. Carson Twarynski has played NHL games. Connor Bunnaman has played NHL games. You got Chris Stewart and Andy Andreoff, both kind of fourth-line type guys, but veteran guys who have been around for a while. Mikhail Vorobiev, another guy that could potentially get a look. Now, Nolan Patrick, to be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on with Nolan Patrick's recovery. He missed this entire season with head issues. No idea where he's at right now or whether he's going to be available or not. I would say probably not, which is why I have him all the way down at the bottom. If he is able to play, then you could obviously put him somewhere in that lineup, but I don't think you're going to see Nolan Patrick until next season, hopefully. And Oscar Lindblom, we do know that he is cancer-free now, so obviously huge news there. Very good news on the Oscar Lindblom front. But I cannot see any, there's no way. There is no way they are going to let someone who has missed most of this season with cancer treatments come back and play in the middle of a pandemic. So I don't see any way that Lindblom, he is, he's a high-risk health patient. So I don't think there's any way he comes back and plays in the middle of COVID. I think, he's hopefully going to be able to come back next season and start fresh next year. Moving on to the defense and goaltending. Goaltending's easy. Carter Hart, obviously your franchise goalie of the present and the future. He's your starter. Brian Elliott, the veteran backup, is there to back him up. And I think you'll see Alex Lyon called up as a third goaltender for camp. And he'll be the extra goalie. Defense, as far as defense goes, this is a fluid situation. And this is certainly no guarantee that this is what the pairs will look like. I think your top pair of Provorov and Niskanen is pretty well set. They've played together all year. I think that's probably what your top pair looks like. Beyond that, though, they have options. Now, Travis Sanheim and Robert Haig, I have the second pair now. You could flip Haig and Gostisbehere, put Ghost on the second pair with Sanheim and put Robert Haig with Braun. Or you could just, put Haig with Sanheim and Gostisbehere with Braun. Again, that's very interchangeable. Then you've got extra guys as well. Philippe Myers, he played a decent amount this year, so he could always go into the lineup somewhere. Mark Friedman will likely get a call-up. Andy Welinski will likely get a call-up. Sam Morin, another injured player. This guy is injured every single year. Not sure of what his status is as far on the injury front, as far as being available to play or not. If he is, he'll be an extra D-man that could potentially work his way into the lineup. And if not, then throw him out like the other bottom injured guys that probably won't play. And Nate Prosser, been around the league for a long time, been in the AHL as well. He spent this year in the AHL, veteran guy. So if you want some experience on the back end, you could definitely bring up Nate Prosser. I think your top six. Now, Gostisbehere could potentially come out of the lineup and Philippe Myers in. Now, he plays the right side normally, but somebody's got to move over. I think, they've got a lot of right shot D-men, so somebody's got to play the left side. But whether or not Gostisbehere's in the lineup remains to be seen. He had been healthy scratched at points this season. I think for the most part, we certainly know who the top 7 are. We know who the top 7 D-men are. For the Flyers, it's Provorov, Niskanen, Haig, Sanheim, Braun, Gostisbehere, and Myers. What we don't know is who's going to be the odd man out, and then what are the pairs going to be, because they have options on that front. But overall, that's Philadelphia. This is probably as good of a Philly lineup I can piece together here with this group, and I think this is very similar to what you will see going forward here as we head into the round robin, into training camp, round robin, and then into the playoffs. So very talented team. They had a very, very good year this year. They were one of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference for a reason. They really rallied around Oscar Lindblom and everything that went on with that situation, and that really kind of galvanized this team. And once that whole thing started, they really came together and played great from December on in this season, and really launched themselves to being one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So let me switch back, and definitely not a team that I would be happy to face in the playoffs, to say the least. I wouldn't be excited about it. They're going to be a tough out. They're a very talented team. Obviously, a huge difference now in Philadelphia is the goaltending. They have Carter Hart now. They have a legitimate number 1 franchise goalie, which they haven't really had in a long time. It's the last really 20, 25 years for the Flyers has been, one of the biggest things about the Flyers has been their spotty goaltending. Some years it's good, some years it's not. Some goalies are good one year, then bad the next. And it's been very spotty, inconsistent goaltending. They haven't had that one legitimate guy to lead the franchise for any length of time. They appear now to have that with Carter Hart, and that's a huge difference. So This team has got a good mix of youth and veterans. They've got a good goaltender, great goaltender in goal. They're a team to be reckoned with for sure, and they're going to be an interesting team to watch in these playoffs. So that's Philadelphia, guys. The best I can do with that lineup. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon and merchandise store down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.